Alright, title of this video is Bruce Lee studied many different styles. So, somebody sent me a message trying to say, trying to basically go against what I said when it came to the cultural blending video I made. Yes, of course he studied many different styles. He studied with many different people, and so have I. And so have many of us. But Bruce Lee never claimed, ever, that he was a karate teacher. Never claimed that he was a sensei. Never claimed that he was representing the Japanese martial arts. He didn't use Japanese words to label his art. He didn't say that he practices the art of Aikido. He would say, either at first Wing Chun, which is a Chinese martial art, and then later on he would say Jun Fan Kung Fu, which Jun Fan is his Chinese name, so his own Kung Fu. And then later on he said that he would practice Jeet Kune Do, which is the style which is not a style, but it was his creation. And then later on he just wanted to do away with all labels and not label it at all. And he also said Dao of Jeet Kune Do, which Dao is from the Tao Te Ching, and that's also Chinese. So he chose to use the Chinese language because that's where his roots are, and then he combined that with the English language because that's where his roots came in, where his roots were as well. He was born in America, in California. He lived about maybe half his life in America and half his life in China, in Hong Kong. So he was pretty much a citizen of both. He was fluent in English and Chinese. Cantonese, Chinese was his primary language. He was fluent in English and Cantonese. So he wasn't taking the language of the Japanese or, the Thai. He wasn't taking their language and using it for marketing purposes. He wasn't promoting Japan over his own country, which is China, or America. He studied with Danny Sano, which is from who was from the Philippines. Danny Sano was from the Philippines, but he didn't ever claim that he was a Filipino martial artist or that he was teaching the Filipino arts. He would learn from other arts, other countries, other people, other styles, but he would essentially make it his own and then use the techniques and what he learned. He would learn from J. Krishnamurti, which J. Krishnamurti was originated from India. So he would learn from all different types of people, Muhammad Ali, but he would make it his own and then he would express it under the labels that he created. And he was really upset when people would call his Kung Fu karate. He took that very offensively. He did in his movies. He was fighting against the Japanese to show the pride in the Chinese culture and the Chinese people. There was movies out there where they say, hey, Chinese people should be on leashes because they're like no better than dogs. And then he ended up punching the person and beating the person up and then breaking the sign. He was exemplifying his, he was exemplifying like his acceptance of himself and where he came from, and he was proud to be Chinese. And the main reason he wanted to act and get into Hollywood was to bring more respect to the Chinese people. And he was labeling his arts with Chinese labels. And he was using Chinese characters to say, use no limitation as limitation. He was using Chinese characters to express his art. So he was using English and Chinese, and that's what I'm talking about. It's like, I'm not telling people not to learn from other people, other cultures, but I'm saying, what are you representing? who are you? Like, if you are Chinese, why would you tell people that you're representing the Japanese martial arts? You are Chinese, so you are representing the Chinese martial arts. That is, unless you are a citizen of Japan and you lived in Japan half your life, and then now you have the option of representing Japan or China, and you speak Japanese as fluent as you speak Chinese, and you write Japanese as fluent as you write Chinese, and then you have both, then you could represent either or. Okay, then that would make sense. But people nowadays, people in America, have no affiliations to any of these Eastern countries, and they're trying to false claim these styles and these systems, and they don't want to put in the hard work to build the reputation, but they want to steal the reputation that has already been built without putting in any of the work. So they didn't build Jeet Kune Do, but they want to take the label and use that. They didn't build Kung Fu, but they want to take that and use that. They didn't build the Shaolin Temple. They didn't have anything to do with the Shaolin martial arts or the Shaolin Kung Fu, but they want to take that label and use that. You know, and that is what I'm saying is wrong. If you're going to do that, you're going to need the permission of the people who have an authority over those labels. So the Shaolin monks in the Shaolin Temple in China, if they give you the authority to use the label because you train there and you understand, and you actually are a great student there, and they give you the authority to use that label and promote that label and make money off that label, then that's different. If Bruce Lee was alive and he gave you the permission to teach his art and to make money from that, and then to cut over some of the profits to him, then that is okay. Just like the way franchises work. You cannot just all of a sudden open up your own McDonald's because everybody likes McDonald's, and you're just going to open it up, your own McDonald's, without notifying the McDonald's corporation and getting their permission. You just want to label your hamburger joint, which has nothing to do with the real McDonald's, but you want to label it McDonald's and have the same symbol and advertise, get the benefits of their advertisement, make money from their corporation when you didn't even get their permission. You need to get their permission and get franchising rights in order to use that label in which to make money off that label. And that's what I'm saying, is you got a lot of non-Chinese people, non-Japanese people, non-Asian people, non-Korean people, non-Thai people that are just saying, hey, you know, I teach Thai boxing, I teach karate, I teach Kung Fu, I teach Tai Chi, I teach Jeet Kune Do, I teach Wing Chun, I teach Aikido. They teach everything, but none of it is authorized by any of the creators of these labels. And that is what's wrong. I'm not saying, oh, you know, people cannot learn from other styles and people and systems. I'm saying when you go out there self-promoting yourself to say that, hey, you know, that you're so capable in teaching all the stuff that you learned, who gave you the authority to do that? Nobody. So why don't you just tell people that you're teaching them your watered down version of the martial arts that you learned from these list of people over the internet? You went to this channel, you went to that channel, you went on this channel, and you learned all this stuff, and that's the stuff that you teach, stuff that you found on YouTube. Don't tell people that you teach Jeet Kune Do, or that you teach Wing Chun, or that you teach Shaolin, or that you teach, you know, Aikido or Judo. Tell them that you teach your own watered down version of the martial arts that has no authority under any of these labels coming from the East, because you are not from that country. You don't have citizenship there. You don't speak the language. You don't respect the people. You don't even care about the people, but you want to take their labels, make money off those labels, and false flag, false claim something that you did not put any contributions towards the development of that reputation. And that is where I'm getting at. That's wrong. You know, I don't know why it's hard for people to understand that, but it's something that's common sense to me. I mean, look at the way businesses are governed. Like I said, you know, you cannot just all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to open up a Jimmy John's and I'm not going to notify the Jimmy John's Corporation, but I'm just going to open one up because they seem to be very successful. They put all this money into marketing, into building their brand. So I'm going to just start making money off of their marketing and their brand, even though I didn't gain any rights to do so. You can't do that in the business world. And what I'm saying is the same concepts should be applied to the martial arts world. You know, if you are actually Chinese and you are actually American because, you know, your roots go back to China and you've lived in America all your life, then you have the right to claim either culture because both of the cultures are a part of you. You were born with that right. But if you are not coming from any of the Eastern cultures and you are not Chinese, you're not Japanese, you're not Thai, you're not Korean, then don't claim those arts unless you get permission from the master of that art to claim that title or that style or that art. Because you need to be under an authority of an Asian person. You need to surrender to an Asian, not just an Asian person, but surrender to an Asian martial art master. You are not the master. You're not the boss. You're going to have to learn to submit and surrender yourself to an Asian master. And I think a lot of Americans have a problem doing that. They don't want to listen to an Asian person tell them what to do. But they want to go ahead and take whatever they can out of the reputation that they have built and make money off that, destroying the reputation of the essence of what the art is meant to represent. And that is wrong. And that's what I'm saying.